our reporter Nasiphi Same. She was covering that briefing by presiding officers just to give us an update and really a roundup as to what we heard from those presiding officers. Nasiphi, quite a dire situation that has been painted by the Parliament presiding officers, specifically around the issue of the National Assembly in itself, it being completely gutted, and other parts that have been completely gutted. What else did we get from that briefing?
Well, Tejo, from what we heard, that including the concerns around safety, but what we do know is that the question of the fire having started around the old assembly wing and then moving to the National Assembly, which is completely gutted. 80 or rather 98% of that National Assembly wing has been gutted. The roof ceiling collapsed. We do understand that forensic investigations are currently underway. A team arrived in Cape Town to do those investigations, and we can expect a preliminary report on that in terms of the extent of damage, including an estimate of the cost. However, the Speaker of Parliament, Ms. Nasiphi Same, asking a question that basically she even answered, saying she is unable to answer at this very moment that a fire that started around the old assembly wing, jumping all across to the National Assembly, saying that there is a passage between the two wings. However, that passage where a library is has not been affected by the fire. So we do know that the National Assembly completely gutted, roof and ceiling collapsed, and also, portions of the old assembly wing where some officers of opposition parties, including the ANC officers, have also been impacted by this fire. And just to take it back to last year in March, where a fire that broke out in the old assembly, also affecting those officers of the ANC. However, now what we do know is that the presiding officers have met. They are anticipating that preliminary report that will be out on Friday. However, the Speaker of Parliament, touching on what Nahau had said or ventilated to the media yesterday in regards to the Protection Service unit in Parliament that have been scaled down for this December, weekends including public holidays, citing budget constraints. And the Speaker there saying that she is of no knowledge to this, and that Nahau was indeed being disingenuous. And this comes at a time where there's already talks on the ground, about the disruption to the State of the Nation address. And we do know there, in regards to the State of the Nation address and budget that is due to be held in February, that those two commitments will not be disrupted, nor the program of Parliament. We understand that provincial government, including the city of Cape Town, have raised their hands to assist Parliament in terms of sittings, including SONA and budget, saying that the City Hall, including the City of Cape Town's council chambers, have been made available to them. However, at this very moment, there is no decision as to which venue to use for SONA, including the budget speech that are due to be held in February.
Nasiphi, this of course then talks to the issue of the security breach there in Parliament, as it is a national key point.
Indeed. I mean, even the gentleman that has been arrested, 49-year-old, facing charges of arson, theft and housebreaking under the national, or rather it's being investigated under the National Key Point Act. That on its own speaks volumes, and the docket being handed over from police to the Hawks. I mean, even the National Assembly Speaker, citing that personally she has also identified some areas of concerns in terms of safety and security, saying that one coming from St. George's side into the precincts of Parliament, the wall or the fencing there is relatively low, saying that that is a concern, including a guardhouse that is there that is currently unoccupied. And she did say that there will be measures that will be put in place, including speaking to Nahau and the Protection Service unit acting ahead in regards to these allegations that have been put before us as the media and also public regarding the cutting of hours. However, we do understand that Parliament says they are unaware of any cutting of hours or budget or any direction cut, or rather any direction to protection services that they should not be working public holidays and on weekends. We do also know that, you know, speaking on the issue of the breach in security in Parliament, that the person that has been arrested from the public minister, or rather from the Minister of Public Works, she said that he was in the building already at 2 a.m. in the morning, and the issue with not having picked up that there was someone in the vicinity was that there was no one looking at the CCTV cameras, hence why there's also going to be an investigation in that regard. So a number of investigations that are about to roll out, and you know, when Friday comes, we will be getting that preliminary report from the forensic investigators in regards to the fire and the structure. However, there are a number of other investigations that will be underway to determine how someone actually breached the security of Parliament.
Nasiphi Same, they are a reporter in the Western Cape covering that fire that gutted the National Assembly. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.